So hey there and welcome back to me, Andy's podcast, where we don't do boring, and this is my spot on the little blue and green dot. Yes, and hopefully you're in your spot and having a good time. So what's our show about? Well, the 6 fundamentals, and they are time, money, balance, compromise, communication and experience. So I'm using this show to pass on my experience and hopefully help you to save time and money, but to talk about things that nobody wants to talk about, really. And also to try and enlighten people as to how they can move forward. We have a lot of people who are stuck in bubbles, and I call them the bubbleites and the apathetics. And we have a lot of people who are stuck in bubbles, and I feel for them, really. I mean, I really do feel for them. In that they can't move forward, they're really stuck. And I'm going to do this so I can get that glare off. That's better. So there we are, you see. So that's what we're talking about today, is developing anything, including yourself. So now one word I haven't used much, and I should have used it more, is motivation. So what's your motivation to develop yourself or anything else? Motivation is very, very important. So what's your motivation? Well, my motivation comes from my 6 things, obviously, but mainly for my Sandcastle business, it's developing my tools to make people be able to do things in a better manner, make it easier for people to learn how to build sandcastles. So to pass on my research, I develop myself and the tools I make to help other people get better. So that's what I do it for. And when I'm on the beach, I help people. When I'm just in life, I help people. I try to help people if I can. And they help me. They help me back by giving me ideas. And that all comes from communication. Yes, you have to communicate with people in order to learn anything. It's a strange thing. So motivation and development. What is your motivation? Is it financial? Is it a new job, new car, more money? And then you have to break that down further. Okay, it might be just financial. You got a job and your job's okay and you're good at it. If you're good at your job, you should look for a better job with more money. And a lot of people say, well, you haven't got the experience yet. Well, if you have got the experience, a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is, and you are good at your job, why not look for a job that pays more money? Because you're good at it. You've got good personal habits, good timekeeping, you're reliable at getting to work, and you've got a good car, everything's in place. Why shouldn't you get more money? It's only you're thinking that's what you're supposed to get paid. That's nonsense. If you're really good at something, lots and lots of companies are looking back for people who are better than the people they've got now, and they'll certainly take you on. So don't use somebody else's advice as, that's what it's worth. That's cobblers, quite honestly. I mean, you're worth what you're worth. And if you're very good at what you do, you should look around for a better job and prove it. Get your resume redone. Actually prove to people that your resume's got to be clean. You've got to be good at writing a letter. You've got to be good at following up. These are all things that make people think, wow, we should give them a chance. So, is it a new car? Because you can't get to work reliably. So you've got 2 choices: fix the old one, right, or buy a new one. And if you buy a new one, you have to make an investment. If you make the investment, you use your savings, and therefore you might need more money to build the savings back up or to even pay for the new car. But when you've got a new car, it means you can go to work. So it's the financial, that's a circular thing, More money means better stuff. But what's the motivation? Is it to get more money with the better stuff? Or is it just to get stuff? And that's up to you. So is it motivation? Is it financial? Is it personal? You want to quit smoking, drinking, improve your learning, learn something new, play guitar, I don't know, improve your habits. I know I should do that. And but I live on my own. Yes, so my habits are, my own. Anyway, but you could improve your habits, if you are slightly tardy, right? Just get up earlier, right? Just get out of bed. That's just an apathetic thing, It's it's okay if I'm a few minutes late. No, it isn't. Timekeeping is everything. And if somebody's paying you, that looks bad. So I can assure you, when I say to people, we have an endemic problem in this area. South Texas isn't great and isn't well known for timekeeping or reliability. And it's a shame. It's a real shame that we are blighted with that. And we are. It's just a way of life. And Especially I live in a tourist area, so nothing happens very quickly. But of course, when I want things to get things done, I'm very fortunate that I've met people who will now help me, and they are not tardy and they know what they're doing. So I built a team of people around me who I know are reliable. So I made a point of doing that. That's one of my things. That was one of my motivations, is to find the right people. So it might be life. You might want to, you're just fed up. You just want a vacation. You want to travel. You want a different job. Just a life change. The kids might have left, and you're an empty nester. What do I do now? Well, go back to your passions. And if you can earn some money from them, and you've also got a lifetime of experience as well, so you can pass that on. There's no quick fix. Life, I'm going to make a podcast and earn millions of pounds, and people are going to pay me, and they're going to do this and they're going to do that. If you were going to commit to a podcast as a paying way of life, you need some Monty to do that. You got to have great transport, great cameras. You really have got to learn about editing, filmmaking. It's a big deal, and it's not a simple thing to do at all. People think go online and make money. It's no, it isn't. Also, you've got to look at are you making the money for yourself, or are you having to pay it out to all sorts of people who want to broadcast you? I mean, my podcast will be picked up by a lot more people if I subscribe to this site and that site, and I edited this and I did that, and there's a list of things. Well, I'm limited by time, and I don't want to do that particularly. I'm not particularly inspired to spend all my time making the podcast. I make it to help people, and it's short and simple and quick, and that's what I want to do. So, but if your changes are through, if your motivation, you think you're motivated and to develop, but your changes are going to be motivated by necessity, okay, that's the wrong ballpark. Necessity is something we all have to do. It's things we have to do. Like, for example, a very simple idea is I don't like mowing lawns. I think it's a big waste of my time. And I don't get anything from it. I don't get anything from making it stripy. I don't think it looks better when it's short. I just know it has to be done. I just don't like mowing lawns. I mean, it's just one of those things. And I tried for an age. I stopped at garages. I stopped people when they were mowing lawns and said, will you please come to my house and mow my lawn? And I had a reaction I did not expect, where I just couldn't get anybody to show up. And one person did show up eventually. I mean, I'm talking after months of doing this. And they said, oh, no, I couldn't do that. I said, why not? I said, well, it's not flat. No, it's not completely flat like a football field or a bowling green. No, it isn't. And, I don't want to knock my mower about. And, it's going to take a long time. No, I don't want to do it. And they left. And I'm like, wow. So that's more about their comfort than mine, and they're not interested in earning money. If you're financially motivated, you don't turn work down. So they obviously got enough work. So but the rest of them didn't even show up. So it's just apathy and just. I mean, for want of a better term, just bullshit. I'm sorry to swear, but it's very, very unfortunate the way it is. And that's it. So, but then I found right on my doorstep, my neighbour loves mowing the lawn. So we came to an arrangement. I buy him packs of beer, and he mows my lawn, and we spend time talking, and we catch up, and it's a great thing to do. We have a great neighbourhood here, a lovely community neighbourhood, and so he really helped me by doing that because he likes doing it. And I don't, so it's simple motivation. So, but if you're ignoring the obvious, you've got that guest room and you never invite guests because you think it's such a mess. Well, get your kids involved. I mean, I've used my children as slaves for years. As motivators for years. And yes, Colin, Jake, and Lewis. Yes, you're all. We were laughing about this. We had a bit of FaceTiming the other day, and basically said, "Yeah, you've used us our whole lives, Dad." They're right. I have, because one part of it for me was teaching them. Passing on the simple skills I had. Like, make yourself warm. Dad, there's no firewood. Right, okay, let's go get some then. And I would show them what it takes to go and get free firewood. Yeah. Okay, and how to use an axe. Yes, giving small children axes. Lovely. Okay, but it's just simple. We were in the country. It's country stuff, and you have to learn how to do these things, Dad, the car won't start. The battery's flat. Okay, this is how you charge it, I taught my children through simple stuff, and I also taught them please and thank you, yes and no, and be honest, and that was it. And so I'm very proud of them, but I have used them as resources for their whole lives. And because Lewis is a fantastic video and filmmaker, Colin is a musical genius and a web designer who is just can come up with the most amazing stuff and graphics. And then Jake inherited my going fast and being stupid gene, but he's also mechanical. So I worked on motorcycles, he works on bicycles, and he's very, very good at it. So anytime I need advice on any of those subjects, my children get a call. So that's it. So if you're doing things through necessity, if the house needs cleaning, we'll clean it up, If your shop needs cleaning, clean it so you can find things the next time, Andy. And I've just cleaned my yard, and basically I couldn't figure out how to sort all the stuff as it was going along because I was under a time crunch because there was a man driving a machine and we had lots of stone delivered and I wanted to get the yard clear. So I made an executive decision. I just put it all in one big pile, and that will force me to go through it and sort out exactly what I've got. And this is big stuff. And then the other stuff went straight in the trash. Anything that I hadn't used and hadn't opened and all this stuff, I just thought, you know what? I do not need it. So down it went. And out it went. And I don't do yard sales and any of that stuff. I'm not interested in any of that. And because what I've got, when I wear it out, it's worn out. So, so that's it. So you have to figure out what your motivations are. What motivates you? If it's necessity, well, you just have to get on with it. Get off your bum. Don't be an apathetic. Okay? But for me, it's passing on knowledge through fun. And for others, it might be a spreadsheet. You might be great at spreadsheets. I know a lady who comes and does my tax spreadsheets. She was great. And that's what she's motivated by, A, earning money, and B, being very good at what she does. And she turns up on time. She's reliable. She doesn't give you any crap. And she'll ask you for the information. Then she does her job, and then she leaves. And that's it. She loves spreadsheets and all that sort of stuff. So you might be sewing. You might be cooking. You might want to go back to what you did before children and all that middle life stuff that you do. Right? Great. Go back and do that. And if people want to pay you, whatever. All right? But if you then if you're already doing something and you're content, right? You don't need me. You don't need motivation. Contentment doesn't need any motivating. If you're content, I'm content when I'm on the beach. I'm having a great time. Yes, people are paying me. Yes, I'm making videos. Yes, I'm talking to folks. Okay? And it makes me content. So I don't need any motivation to go there and do that. We had some recent damage from very, very high winds that hit the island, and it's turned my tool store over. Actually picked it up off the ground, broke the mountings, and it's on its side. Yay. So I've got to go and fix that through necessity. But at the same time, it's not mine, so I'll go and fix it because it's given to me by somebody else. I'm allowed to use it, so the very minimum I can do is go and fix it. And of course it's necessity, because if I got a lesson today, I'd literally have to climb over the top of it and get my stuff out, which is not motivating. And so I've got to go and fix it. So that's necessity. And if you're content with where you are, you just don't need me. So figure out what motivates you, go for it by being the best you can be, and fix your habits so you can be the best you can be. If you're not fixing the habit thing, you're not attacking it in the right direction. All right? Nobody's going to come to your rescue. Nobody's going to do things for you. You've got to do it yourself. And that's what we're lacking at the moment, I think. And a lot of people expect other people to do things for them. And it's not going to happen. The people who do things for themselves stand out. Every single time I'll see somebody working and go, wow. And they also run their own businesses. That's why they run their own businesses, because they do things themselves. So there you go. If you're content where you are, God bless you. If you're going to develop anything, find your motivation. And if you are content, well, you don't need me. So that's a short one today. This is me, Andy Hancock, where we don't do boring. And remember, all creation begins with destruction. All right. And I'll see you next time. Bye.